let's get going with what we have and just try to make sure this thing isn't too much in the way. So I added a link to the YouTube channel up here on the home page in case that you have a hard time falling asleep. It's really good for that. So it's just a recording of what goes on the screen with whatever the microphone picks up from the classroom. So mostly if you feel that there was something that you missed and you just want to revisit. So I also added the first homework assignment here, and we'll talk about it a little bit today. So in general, I'll just put the homework links here. I moved the links for the reading into the actual slides. It was just getting too cluttered in here. So in today's slide, somewhere it'll say what the reading is for next Monday. So let's just get going with a quick quiz in Piazza, like every time. And I'll need to make these quick quiz questions here really quick. Bear with me. Poll choices. 1, 2, 4. So go ahead with that one, and I will make the second one as well. Oh. Okay, who hasn't submitted yet? Everyone has submitted? Because then it tells me that there are 10 here. Now it says 12. Can you? Who else has it? It's miscounting us. I decided 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're 17 people. And we have 13 in here. So there must be some dark matter. All right, let's see. Okay, so everyone has figured this stuff out. Let's just move on to quiz question 2. And a whole bunch of people already did this. That's good. So if we could get everyone. All right, so here the right answer is, interesting. So 5 people said that the author doesn't like the plugin architecture. I don't think that the author is specifically unhappy about the plugin architecture, because after all, the Android programming stuff is a plugin into Eclipse. But the thing that he was really not happy with was that the plugin architecture wasn't all that great. So the Android stuff plugs in, but still a bunch of the core infrastructure in Eclipse is kind of not very flexible. Like that when you click on run as, that it says run on server, and that really doesn't make any sense. So the plugin architecture itself is fine, but it has its limits in. And it's a little unclear to me whether it's simply impossible to remove any settings from the Run As menu, or whether the implementers of this particular plugin were just lazy and didn't bother to do that. And I suspect it's the latter, because actually Eclipse is pretty powerful, and I think it's what simply happens is that a lot of people who make an Eclipse plugin, and I've used many of them, they're just kind of careless about making it look really polished. That as soon as it works, that's not their major concern, and they go on and do something else. So for example, the Scala plugin suffers from the same thing, that when you have a Scala application and you click on Run As, it gives you a bunch of options that make no sense, such as run as a Java program. Hello there, it's a Scala program, and how hard can it be to figure this out? So, but of course, it doesn't really detract from the functionality. One gets used to these minor things. And the alternative, in a way, is worse. There used to be a time when BlackBerry had its own IDE that was supposedly tightly matched to how you could do BlackBerry programming. But it takes a lot of effort to write a good IDE. And the people who produce mobile phones are not necessarily the ones who have the greatest expertise in that. And so the IDE was terrible. It only ran on Windows. And running was not exactly how one would describe it. It only crawled on Windows. It had very few features, and so it was much, much worse than what you get with Android and Eclipse. So, so he has a good point, but I think one needs to take that in stride. So I'm not sure why he was quite so happy about it. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure whether you glanced at the thing, and it looks like most people did. So, still missing one contributor here, but we'll sort that out later. Okay. So today, we're going to go into the lab right away. I want to catch up with it so that I can make sure that everyone can do these kinds of things. We'll do just enough stuff to do homework 1. So I posted what I hope is an easy homework that just makes use of what we're doing in the lab. And then there's a few fiddly things that one has to know about to be successful in the homework. So I'm going to do that after the lab. So we're going to be doing the lab for let's say 45 minutes, and then spend the rest of the time on these things. And all right, so let's get going with the lab right away. We want to do it in groups of 2. Is there anyone who's still not been able to clone the default, the empty repo? Anyone else? Everyone, SSH key works. Everyone can do the cloning. Okay, great. In that case, we're going to have to. Is there anyone who's not registered in the course? You're not registered in the course. Okay, in that case, you're going to be the odd man out, and you work on your own because there's 17 people in there. Everyone else, pick a partner by any criteria, except possibly beauty, looking at all of us, and get going with the lab. Okay, the 2 of you that need to work. And then I guess that's the 2 of you. And you, so if you can move over there or whatever, then. I mean, feel free to talk to them if you want to. So.
I'd rather.
So are you auditing the class?
Yeah, give me the answers.
Okay, that's quick. So if you just want to listen in, that's fine.
No, you give me the answer.
Yeah. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to.
I wanted to read it. It didn't work.
It didn't work? Okay, then send me another email and I'll send you another ad code. Alright. But right now, just then work on your own and submit it as a individual report. Okay? Well, actually, there's your partner. Voila.
Yes.
Okay, then if you just work with him on the lab. There's the sole individual over there.